Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. My name is Carlos Contreras and my partner is Bastian Carrasco. Today we are going to analyze a specific text and how you should analyze this type of text. Okay, so to kick off our analysis and tutorial on how to analyze a text, first we have to mention that we picked a text about Japanese cuisine. This specific text is entitled Introduction to Japanese Food by Setsuko Yoshizu. Firstly, we have to consider that this text pertains to the genre of a descriptive text, since it is describing each of the subtitles like seafood or traditional breakfast in Japan, describing how a traditional breakfast or how the seafood is prepared in Japan. Now here it is the structure of a typical descriptive text. First, it begins with a general opening statement to narrow all the details of the article in this case or the text. Then we have a series of paragraphs about the subject. In this case, it had many subtitles related to the main theme, which was the Japanese cuisine. And then finally we have the conclusion. Although the conclusion it is not imperative for all descriptive text, which in this case it didn't have.
Moving on with the text rules, we are going to see first the recurrence rules. First, we have the anaphoric procedures, which is using a pronoun to refer back to a previously mentioned item. Here, we can see that the pronoun they is referring to rice cakes. Then we have the lexical substitution, which is replacing a word with a synonym or a related term in order to avoid repetition. Here, seaweed, fish, clams, and fish cakes are all terms that refer to the word seafood. Then we have the co-reference, which is using a different expression to refer to the same entity. Here, the term which is being expressed is washoku, and then we have a little definition about it. Finally, we have elision, which is omitting words or phrases that are understood from the context to create a more fluid description. Here, in the second part which is highlighted, there is an omission of the word dinner, which is omitted in order to avoid repetition and as is already understood from the context of that part of the text. Next, we are going to see the progression rules, which has to do with the theme and the rhyme of the text. Here we have a little abstract of the text. In the part highlighted in red, we have the theme, which is traditional Japanese breakfast. And then we have the rhyme that is a brief description of what a traditional Japanese breakfast is. As you can see in the part highlighted in blue, it's describing what a traditional Japanese breakfast is.
Now moving on to the progression or the connection of the text itself, we found that this text specifically has a thematic progression. As you can see on the bottom right of the screen, we have that it is divided by hyperthemes. Even though the main theme is the Japanese cuisine, it is subdivided with different subtitles that are related to this main theme. Then we have seafood, dashi soup stock, and seasonings. They are describing how the cuisine of the Japanese people.
Then we have the connection rules, which has to do with relations and connections. Relations refer to the logical and semantic connections between different parts of the text. And what does this mean? it means that if this text, for example, is a descriptive text, it needs elements that inside the text that refer to that type of text, in this case a descriptive text. In the part highlighted in red, we can see many descriptions of different terms. For example, breakfast, a traditional Japanese breakfast. Then we have the connections, which has to do with linking words that are used in order for the text to flow in a more smoothly way. For example, we have the words and, also, from, to, are, and is.
And finally, we have the references. This is the website we got the article from. And that's it. I hope this video helped you to understand how to analyze a descriptive text and the different features you can observe in a text. And thank you for tuning in into this tutorial.